Hello and welcome. If you're getting ready for the NDA exam and biology feels like a total puzzle, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to crack the code and give you a strategy to absolutely nail this section and send your overall score soaring.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a big question, right? For a lot of you, especially if you're coming from a math background, biology can feel like a huge hurdle. But what if I told you there's a smart, data-backed way to turn this subject from a weakness into a major scoring strength? First up, let's get our facts straight. In the General Ability Test, or GAT, you're looking at about 8 to 12 questions from biology. Now that might not sound like a ton, but hang on. In an exam as competitive as the NDA, those 32 to 48 marks can be the absolute difference maker. This is a scoring opportunity you just can't afford to pass up. So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by decoding the exam pattern. Then we'll zero in on the high-weightage topics you have to know. After that, we'll talk about the right study tools, and finally, we'll put it all together into your winning strategy. Think of it as our mission brief.
All right, let's get to our first objective, gathering intel. You know, to win any battle, you've got to know your enemy, right? For us, that means digging into past exam papers to understand precisely what we're up against. Now check this out. This trend analysis from the last few years is basically our blueprint. If you look closely, yeah, you might see a random spike in questions on one topic one year, but don't get lost in the noise. The overall trend is undeniable. Certain topics show up again and again and again. This isn't about guesswork. It's about following the evidence.
So what's the big takeaway from all that data? Well, it points us directly to 3 areas that consistently dominate the paper. First, the basics of life, especially the cell. Second, human physiology. And third, diseases and nutrition. This is where we need to concentrate our firepower. It's about studying smarter, not harder.
So let's dive into our core mission. Now that we know where to aim, let's break down exactly what you need to know in these high-yield topics. This is where we get into the concepts that are going to earn you the most points, period. First step, the cell. This is the absolute foundation of biology, and let me tell you, the NDA exam loves it. We consistently see anywhere from 1 to 5 questions just on this topic in pretty much every single paper. Mastering this is simply non-negotiable. A classic question revolves around this difference. Think of it like this. A prokaryotic cell, like a bacteria, is a simple studio apartment. Everything's just in one room, no walls, and the DNA is just kind of hanging out. But a eukaryotic cell, what you and I are made of, that's a mansion. It has a main office, the nucleus, to protect the DNA, and lots of other little rooms, or organelles, each with a specific job. Now, you don't need to know every single organelle. Just focus on the VIPs. You've got the mitochondria, the powerhouse generating energy, ribosomes, the little protein-building factories, lysosomes are the cell's cleanup crew, often called suicide bags, and in plant cells, don't forget plastids, like chloroplast, which are basically the solar-powered kitchens.
All right, moving on to our second heavy hitter, human physiology. This is all about how our bodies work. The questions here can get pretty specific, often zooming in on the jobs of different organs and the little enzymes that make all the chemical reactions happen.
Let's just trace the journey of a bite of food, for example. It starts in the mouth, where enzymes kick off the process. Then it hits the stomach, which is basically an acid pit with more enzymes breaking down proteins. The real action, though, happens in the small intestine, where everything gets fully digested. Finally, the large intestine just absorbs the leftover water. Knowing that sequence is key. And our third and final core topic is diseases and nutrition. The trend analysis shows this area is getting more and more important. I mean, in one recent exam, there were 6 questions from this section. 6! Paying close attention here is really going to pay off big time.
Okay, this right here is pure high-yield gold. Questions linking vitamins to diseases are so common it's not even funny. You have to know this stuff. Lack of vitamin A causes night blindness, vitamin C deficiency gives you scurvy, and a lack of vitamin D causes rickets. These are easy marks just waiting for you to grab them.
Now listen up, because this is a distinction you absolutely have to remember. It's a classic exam trap. Antibiotics are designed to kill bacteria. They are totally 100% useless against viruses, like the ones that cause the common cold or AIDS. They will try to trick you on this, so don't let them.
Okay, so we figured out what to study. Now let's talk about how to study it, because having the right technique is just as important as having the right information. This part is all about gearing you up for success. Forget complicated plans. Here's a simple, proven 3-step method. First, you build your foundation with the NCERT books. They are your best friend. Second, make it visual. Use diagrams, draw flowcharts, whatever helps you see the process. And third, immediately test yourself by solving previous year questions for that specific chapter. That's the loop.
And this brings us to probably the single most important piece of advice you'll hear. The NDA exam isn't a memory test, it's a test of your understanding. So stop trying to just mug up or memorize facts. Focus on understanding the why behind everything. If you get the logic, you can solve any problem they throw at you.
So why am I so obsessed with PYQs? Because they are your ultimate secret weapon. Seriously, they show you the exact patterns the examiners use, they confirm which topics are the most important, and most of all, they build your confidence and your speed for the actual exam day.
We've gathered the intel, we've identified our targets, and we've got the right tools. Now it is time to put it all together into one clear, powerful strategy. This is your final mission brief.
Here it is, your 4-point action plan. Number 1, use those past papers to see the trends. Number 2, put about 80% of your energy into those 3 big topics we talked about. Number 3, practice constantly with chapter-wise questions. And finally, number 4, always focus on understanding the logic, not just memorizing the words.
So, there you have it. The complete strategy to go out there and conquer NDA biology. The blueprint is right here, in your hands. The only question left is, what's your first move? Which one of these core topics are you going to start mastering today? Go on, get it done.